Oh, heck. 不好意思. Sorry, my phone is out of juice. Has anyone got a battery pack? Oh, sorry. Actually, this is my metaphor for China's opening up. This, if you like, is the foreign country. This battery pack, that's the energy that all of you embody. This battery pack, what have we got here? What does China offer globalization 2.0? 3 things. High-speed rail, highways, high-speed internet, that's your 5G. And if countries want to leverage the 5% GDP growth which China offers, they have to be plugged in to what China offers them. This, if you like, are the countries, the 150 countries on the Belt and Road. Which are the countries in the world today which are growing at 3 to 4% GDP per annum? That's right. It's the countries that are using the Chinese battery pack. It's the countries in the Middle East, it's the countries in sub-Saharan Africa, it's the countries in Southeast Asia. And it's no coincidence that these are the countries that are connected to China, because countries that are growing in 2025 go up together with Chinese innovation. So I think what President Xi is working towards are basically 3 things. China will become, if you like, the largest spender in the world. That's number 1. They will also be the best supplier because of you guys. There's 4.7 million STEM graduates coming out of China per annum. So this means the innovation is here. And that innovation is being exported down the Belt and Road to 150 other countries who are capitalizing on your growth. And the third area, it's going to be balanced growth. And that means extra healthcare spending, extra spending on education. So let's unpack these 3 areas a bit more broadly and maybe give you some examples just from my ordinary life. So number 1, biggest spender. How is China going to achieve that? Not without a lot of policy innovation. The reason I like working in China is that it's policy-driven growth, which is enabling the economy to flourish. There's been the free trade zones, Shanghai, Guangdong, Hainan, all of them offering different characteristics for different types of business to flourish. I'm in Shanghai, so we like the financial liberalization. One of my friends has a robot agricultural factory in Guangdong. He used to have about 4 employees in 2011. He now exports to 31 countries because of the policies that facilitate the growth of his technological innovation. So the free trade zone that I have worked most closely with happens to be Hainan. And so I'll show you some of my buddies in Hainan. This is Professor Chang. He's an architecture lecturer. He's been teaching his students how to build houses entirely of recycled material. You know, I really like that. Hainan, for me, is like a big education innovation lab. China has offered it some amazing, amazing policies that's going to ensure that its growth is sustainable. You know, Hainan just became part of the world economy. So that's number 1. China has all these policies to turn it into the world's largest spender. Number 2, China is going to be the world's best quality supplier. I have a lot of evidence of this as it happens, because I have been here a long time. I've been advising a lot of companies on setting up their Chinese joint venture partners. A lot of people have got rich around me, and it's because of the technological innovation that is systemic in the education system in China. And this is something I've really enjoyed witnessing in the last couple of decades. And most recently, you know, I experienced it. See this gentleman in the middle. How old do you think he is? He's 29. Do you know what he's holding? Does anyone know what those funny shades are? Yeah, you're all Gen Z. You all know what you're talking about. You're right. He's got a VR. I just bumped into this guy a couple of weeks ago, and he's from Guizhou. He said, "Do you want to try on these goggles?" I put it on, and immediately, like, the plush carpet in the hotel sort of turned into moon craters. Suddenly I was seeing what people who walk on the moon see. They see the Earth as this little fragile orb, which we shouldn't be polluting. It really was a transformative experience for me. That gentleman, he's 29, and he's with his buddy from Chengdu, Ada Space, working on satellites for China. And this weekend, I met a French lady, and she'd invited her 2 kids, age 16, to come and live with her and her husband in Shanghai. So I asked the boys, why did you move here when you were 16? It's kind of a weird age to switch school. They said, we came to learn the Chinese that we'd need to make sure we got into the best aerospace engineering school in the world, which they considered to be Shanghai. So this was brand new to me. I introduced the 2 French boys to Warren from Guizhou. I was just watching their WeChat earlier today, and they were saying, sure, you can work on our satellite program. And I'm like, wow, imagine I'm a 19-year-old French kid being invited to work on the satellite program in Chengdu, which will enable self-driving cars to have less of a fraction error when a dog runs across the road. Opportunity is geographically specific at different times. And in your lifetime, it will be focused here. That's why I wanted to come to the university today, because you meet the best of the best in Chinese universities. And, you know, really is a privilege to meet you, because the multinational companies of the future will emanate from China. I'm sure of it, because of this consistent ecosystem in innovation that you will be able to export as multilingual students to the world from China. Just to add a little more to that story, there's the gentleman from Chengdu on the right. He works at Ada Space. Warren from Guizhou, he's the programmer in the middle. And on the left, you've got Amir. He's based in the UK, but he speaks Arabic because he's originally from Syria. And he's already signed an MOU with those guys. Because when he saw those guys in the lobby, he recognized they were speaking to a Saudi Arabian investor. He actually could sense that he was from Saudi Arabia and said, oh, can I join you? And they started discussing investment in the innovation created in Guizhou for the Chengdu Satellite Lab. Now, it's this sort of catalytic opportunity that used to make me want to live in other countries that is afforded to me here that keeps me in China. And so my third area that I wanted to, nobody cares if you have the biggest spenders or the best exporters if you're not creating balanced growth for the people. And this is another reason I like China. I like the common prosperity policy where people go up together. Because if people don't get rich together, you cultivate problems that will come back and hit you in the future. And it's been a privilege to work with Wang Liwei for the last 15 years on his foundation. And this is a picture of us in Hainan. And he's presenting this calligraphy that says quiet and far. And that's how I see China Globalization 2.0. That China's not telling you, hey, we're number one, we're the best, we're great. China's just getting on with the work, innovating, creating opportunity, building ports and roads, and sending better equipment abroad to improve ordinary people's lives. I got here from Shanghai for about $60 because I was able to get a bicycle from my home to a subway that arrives on time, to get a train to go 1,200 kilometers with my phone and computer working all the way so I don't lose any downtime at work. And then I was able to get off the train and get another bicycle. China frees up your brain by looking after the infrastructure, by looking after your personal safety, and by looking after your education opportunity so you can focus on the innovative breakthroughs that happen when you have a clear mind with your left and right brain working in harmony. So China is trying to create balanced growth that is both quiet but far-reaching. And the way Xi Jinping summed it up in his meeting on the 28th of March at the Great Hall of the People is he said there's been 2 miracles in China. There's been the pillar of rapid economic growth. Simultaneously, there's been the pillar of sustained social cohesion, sustained stability. Growth and stability have to go together, or you get the sort of dislocation that creates difficulties in other countries. So if I was to describe China's growth in one image, it would be in a picture. Can we hold that together, Mr. Ware? Let's do it there. So do you like this tapestry? So for me, this is the green shoots of growth. These are your ideas. This is the fertile soil of innovation that is created with your 4.7 million STEM students. These are the businesses that you are creating now that you're at university. And these are blossoming into patents which are going global peacefully. And that's how I would summarize China's energetic growth. I received this tapestry from a lady after the Sichuan earthquake, and they were rebuilding their area. And I always think China is somewhere, whatever happens, it will not only rebuild its own economy, but maybe it will export that green growth to other countries to rebuild a broken global economy. So no pressure, guys. I think the future belongs to you in China, and thank you very much for your time today.